Blade Gamer, thank you for the Canadian maple syrups, mate. He says, Happy New Year, Tech. What about me?
Nobody ever says happy. Hi. That's not true. They do occasionally say,
do.
Hi, Rogue. Oh, yeah, and Tech too.
That's true. Blade Gamer wants to know if the Asus ROG Strix B650-A gaming Wi-Fi motherboard is a good choice for high-end builds, trying to help a friend pick a motherboard.
Buy Windows 10 Professional for $15, activate instantly online with Microsoft, and keep it forever. Don't pay full price. Get the best deal from our sponsor, URCD Keys, using our link in the video description below. Full details on how this amazing deal works at the end of the video. High-end build? No, it's a B-board. Buy an X board.
Yeah, I'm like, B-board? High-end.
I'm sure the board's perfectly fine in general. I have owned a lot of motherboards. Over the years, I've discovered that you get what you pay for. If the price gap between the B boards and the X boards was double, I'd understand better. It's not. You can get a nice X670 board for $200. You can get a really nice one for $250. The B boards aren't $100. If they were, I would understand. I would recommend them more. But that particular board, just to put it in perspective,
Probably do the Pro Art like you always recommend.
Nah, that's too expensive for most people. The Steel Legend X670E is the deal. Oh Jesus, you've got to be kidding me.
$240.
That's just.
Okay, so this is the motherboard that he is referring to, the Asus ROG Strix B650-A gaming for $240.
No, you are not buying a B board for $240.
This is what you're gonna buy.
Assuming they have them in stock. Oh, the price went up. These were on sale, but I guess they ended that sale. This was $259. Now it's $299. That is a monstrously better board. Just in chipset, PCI Express lanes, M.2 slots, features, etc. It's not that much more than the other one. Where is... Let me click AMD motherboards. Now, prices change all the time.
They do. So
I can sit here and go, well, I know which board I would buy, blah, 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 blah. But of course, things change.
that's why you need to know what the prices are. So when it's not that price, you get yourself a deal.
Hang on, we'll get there.
I know we will.
600 series, X670. I wouldn't buy a B board. I really wouldn't.
Well, not if you're gonna. I mean,
I just
with
wouldn't.
an upgrade path coming in the future,
If the cost of the motherboard buys you, buy a 14700K, buy a Z690 or Z790 for 160, 170 bucks, and don't ever change the thing. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy this. Typically, I don't buy the bottom end of a board, the bottom end of a line. These are X670s, but that's a pretty stripped board. That's a better one, but it's still not great. This is a good board. Amazon doesn't have the... Amazon actually has this, I think, for $200. That's a nice board for $229. Aorus Elite for $250. That is not bad.
yeah, that's someone mentioned that.
That might actually be...
Aorus Elite AX for $250.
That's it right there. 4 M.2 slots, Wi-Fi 6E, 2.5 gig LAN. That's got all the stuff. Here's the thing. It is very easy to look at this and say, but doesn't the B board have enough features? Yeah. Doesn't it have enough power delivery? Yeah. Why would I spend more money? Well, first of all, it's not exactly a lot more money. It's $10.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Come on.
It's a sandwich.
I've had a lot of AMD boards in the past 6 years.
Yes.
B350s, X370s, B450s, X470s, B550s, X570s.
Yep. A lot.
The nicer boards get their BIOSes updated first and have better broad compatibility with everything.
They do.
They last longer for future upgrades.
Yeah, well, they stay updated.
I have fewer issues with them in general. My front desk machine used to be a cheap B350 board. It was an MSI B350 gaming pro gaming micro ATX board. Well, it sounded nice. It looked okay. It was a pretty cheap motherboard.
Yeah.
I dropped a 5700G on there. It was okay. It ran Cinebench well. Well, I mean, in terms of raw performance, it was performing as a 5700G should.
Yeah.
But using Windows didn't quite feel right. It just... I have lots of machines, so I could very quickly tell when a machine doesn't feel right. So I took that machine apart, but I kept the SSD, and I don't do this very often, but that machine was perfectly configured with all the... That's our front desk machine.
Yeah.
I've got 3 printers attached to it. I've got the UPS thermal label printer attached to it.
Everything's set up.
And of course, all it does is printing labels, email, front desk duties. So I thought, you know what? I don't want to mess with it. I took the SSD out of it, cloned it to a better SSD because it was a kind of crappy SSD, and I replaced it. I put a Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite motherboard into a nice Cooler Master case with good airflow, because the previous case was a Cooler Master with garbage airflow.
Yep.
And I put a nice tower cooler. I don't remember exactly. It doesn't have a Cooler Master Hyper 212 on it, but it's got something similar to a Hyper 212. And I put the SSD on there with the existing install of Windows. And the difference in the machine's responsiveness was noticeable. Chrome comes up faster. Websites, you click with the mouse and it's a little bit faster. I've had that experience often enough now. Now, to be fair, I changed chipset generations. That was a 300 series to 500 series. Here, we're talking about 600 to 600. I've had enough experiences with cheap boards and nice boards across a variety of scenarios. I actually, for a while, do you remember Junior's machine had the 7700K on a B150 motherboard? Mm-hmm. Well, I also have a 7700K on a Z270. I've used both. I promise you they benchmark about the same. But I promise you they don't work the same.
Correct.
So... Again, I just want to be clear about something. When you ask this question, the reason why I disparage the B boards so harshly is not because they're horrible. It's because that motherboard he's asking about is $240, whereas an X670 board is $10 more. Now, there are cheaper B boards, and if you're going ultra budget...
Yeah, but he said high-end in his thing.
Yes, which is utterly ludicrous. If you're going high-end, you need an X board. The X670 boards have more PCI Express lanes and they can have more devices connected at once. Now, that's not an X670E, which has dual chipsets. It's an X670.
So things will fall off if you... Yeah.
You'll have a little bit of compromise on there, but of course you can spend a little bit more. Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Food's in the oven, so don't eat a lot, but if you need a snack, grab something, but we'll eat in about 2 hours.
Okay.
What do you have to say about that?
He can think whatever he wants.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't argue with what you think with what I've experienced. Use them all and then tell me, is what I would say to that. It's... You know, it's a fair point, and I understand this. Where is it? Probably way further down.
Green.
Oh, I like this comment. cheapening out never ends well.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think gamers need exports. Gamers don't need AM5. An i7 8700K and an RTX 2070 will play most games at 1440p very well at reasonable detail settings. You don't need any of it. But if you're going to spend the money on the new platform and spend what the AM5 chips cost, and you're going to build a high-end build, which is what the comment said,
Yeah,
then...
it did. Right there.
And again, we are talking about a $240 motherboard that has a stupid B chipset.
And if he's going...
If this were $140, look, if that B board were $140 instead of $240, okay, we could talk about it.
He's still not putting it on a high end.
No, I wouldn't put it on a high end. But if he said that he was going to get
A 7700X.
a 7700X with a RTX 4070, okay, well, fine. Fine.
It's all about building
I'll have that conversation.
It's all about building a balanced build.
But at 240, I'm not going to discuss a B board at 240.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah. A-Rock.
If you just, you know what?
You go.
If you want to discuss B boards, that's fine. Buy this.
The ASRock B650 Live Mixer ATX motherboard, 4 slots for $150.
Now we're at a price we can have a conversation. It's got
Usually
3 M.2 slots.
Usually $230.
I will discuss this. This is not...
So this would be good for a 7700.
This actually has better power delivery than that Asus Board does. BIOS flashback, USB 3.2 Gen 2, 7.1 audio, 2.5 gig LAN. I'm not poo-pooing this. If you think a B board is right for you, buy this. Assuming, of course, this doesn't bother you.
Woo! Pretty.
Someone
spilled their paint.
Let me be clear about something. If you have a RX 7900 XT and a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D,
yep,
I'm still okay with this board.
You still like, really?
Sure. It's got good power delivery. It's decent feature set. You know what you're getting into. You are a mid-range user. If you have a 4080 or 4090 and a Ryzen 9 7950 X3D,
no.
Come on. That's when you buy the ProWalk board. I totally don't have a problem with B boards, but they better be down at this price and not 240.
240, yeah.
And now that I have killed that topic,
A-Rock. A-Rock, thanks for Aussie Tim Tams, mate. Happy 2024, my fellow Aussies, and tech love from the future. Excellent.
Conan wants to know what's the difference between a B board and an X board. PCI Express lanes is part of it. There are a variety of differences in terms of how many M.2 slots are supported at what speeds, how many USB ports are supported. I don't have the list memorized. What I have experienced over the years handling lots of motherboards is that the nicer a motherboard, the more attention the motherboard companies put into it and the nicer the parts they put on it. Everything kind of gets better as the board gets more expensive to justify the higher price.
High levels of PCI slots, NVMe slots, IO shield, better VRMs, so everything you said.
Although that B550 I just showed a minute ago for 150 has decent VRMs. If you can stand the explosion of color, that's not a bad deal. But I have replaced enough cheap boards with nice boards in enough PCs because I got tired of one issue or another.
One issue or another. Are you still going on about that? You're still banging on about that. Thanks, A-Rock. Appreciate it, mate.
Price affects everything.
Oh, there we go.
I just think $240 for that B650 is just dumb. Looking for a Windows 10 or 11 product key, but you don't want to spend $100 to $200 for it? Our sponsor, URCD Keys, provides discounted Windows keys at amazing prices. $15 for Windows 10 Professional, $21 for Windows 11 Professional, and just $60 for Microsoft Office 2021 Professional Plus. These product keys are the real deal. They activate directly with Microsoft Online, link to your Microsoft account, and they work forever. For Windows, you simply go to Settings, Update and Security, Activation, click Change Product Key, paste the key provided by URCD Keys, and in seconds, you're activated with Microsoft. For Office, go to setup.office.com, sign in with your Microsoft account, paste the product key provided by URCD Keys, and then download Office 2021 Pro Plus directly from Microsoft. Remember to use the discount code TD20 to save 25% off the already deeply discounted prices and support our channel at the same time. We have been using product keys from URCD Keys for almost 5 years now without any issues and encourage you to do so as well.